All right, we are on part 4 or part D of lesson 5. Okay, so we want to go to 5D start and open that file. This is a very short one, but it's a very, very valuable lesson. Okay, first thing, we're going to change the name. So last name, first initial, 05D. And then, of course, we're going to save as. All right, and then I can get that out of there. All right, so what we have is we have a distorted picture. And it's just, you know, it's like a fisheye lens because of the way it was shot. It's kind of gross. So we're going to try and clean this sucker up. And there's some really cool effects in Photopea/Photoshop to help us fix these things. Now, as always, Photoshop is a much more involved way of doing it, but it still works in here. So I'm going to go up to Filter, and I'm going to choose Lens Correction. All right, let me move that out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Now, if I move the amount up, you'll see it starts to distort it. So it looks like it's probably good around 20. Those look pretty straight. Now, the problem is I've had to scale it up bigger, and I've lost a big chunk of the picture. So I got to scale down until I reach a point where, oh, now the sides are starting to peek in. So I take it back up. That looks like 92 is the magic number. All right. So we've straightened out this crooked picture. All right, and if you want to see the difference, okay, that's what we originally had. I'm in the history panel now, and that's where we are now. So we've got a very straightened picture. Problem is it looks like booty, so we gotta make this look better. So let's go down to our adjustment button, and we're gonna add a new adjustment layer. We're gonna try brightness and contrast. Let's take the brightness, and we're going to bring that to like, I don't know, let's go up to about 20. And the contrast, we're going to take up to 30. All right, so you can see the difference, turn it on and off. Here's a dull picture that we started with. Get some color and some light to pop. All right, we're getting there. It still looks pretty crappy. Let's go down, open another adjustment layer, and we're going to do vibrance at this point. So let's take our vibrance down to -20. And we're going to take our saturation up to like 50. Okay, it's a little dramatic at this point. Let me see. Yeah, if I take this up, it's going to get worse. So we got to take the vibrance down a little bit. All right, it's not terrible. Let's get rid of this thing. It's definitely better than where we started. Okay, so we're starting to fix it. Now we do have some issues here. We've got this crap going on here. So why don't we go over here and we'll get our rectangle select. Make sure you're on the background layer when you do this. And we're just going to select this kind of yellowish part here. And we are going to go Edit and Fill. But we're going to change the fill to Content Aware. And then hit OK. Now it's going to change our picture. It basically duplicate what was next to it, but it's a lot better than it was. And if I go up to here and I look at the difference, much better. Now, I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, if we really wanted to get crazy, we could go in here and fill that with Content Aware to get rid of that little node. It might work. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Control D. I didn't mind how it was. So we'll leave that 2 little bumps there. Nobody will notice that. It still doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to add another adjustment layer, but this time I'm going to try the levels. Because it seems like some of the tones are a little off. Now the cool thing about levels is it sets your darkest darks and your lightest lights, which is what this bar does. But then you also get to see like the mountain view of it, of where each kind of the darks are and the midtones are and the highlights. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the blacks, the bottom or the top one right here. We're going to move that over to about 10. Okay, at the same time, I'm going to move my mids up to 95. Oh crap, I did a boo-boo. Let's undo this, Control C. We forgot to delete, Control D that. So make sure you don't have nothing selected, because I was only affecting what was selected. If you select it, you affect it. So let's do that again. Add an adjustment layer. I'm going to go to my levels. One more time, the black to 10. I'm going to move this one up to 95. And then the whites, I'm going to take to 243. All right. And then I wonder if I should adjust that at all. No, I think that's okay. I'm going to leave that how it is. Let's get this out of the way. All right. So let's look at what we originally had. Okay. Kind of grainy, kind of gross. We added our levels. That actually did pretty good. The brightness and contrast was nice. I feel like the vibrance kind of just took us too far. So let's adjust that a little bit. And we're going to take the saturation down to, I don't know, 20. And maybe the vibrance up to 0. Maybe the vibrance needs to come down a little bit more. The vibrance to 50. That looks a little better to me. Okay, here's where we started. And there's our last bit. Vibrance doesn't do a lot. You'll notice in here, the vibrance layer pops that a little bit. It's subtle. All right. That has done wonders for this kind of banged up, ugly picture that we started with. So, File, save as PSD. File, let's export it as a JPEG. And save. And turn that in. And that would be the end of 5D.